Hello, it's me again. The car decided to have a different fate than I wanted it. I wanted to put turbos and stuff on you. Where's the light at? God dang it, Bobby. There it is. I spent a lot of money on this car. Not for it to build up a bunch of crankcase pressure and blow out the oil filter gasket, so they had to put a smaller oil filter on so it would bottom out harder, I guess. I don't know. That's the excuse they gave me. And now it's building up so much crankcase pressure, it's leaking out the valve cover. So it needs piston rings or a catch can, which I may just do the catch can for the time being. But this is going to go in the other car, and a B series is going in here. It will eventually happen. I am sourcing the parts and all that still. I got the parts to buy list right there. That's not including the fuel pump and all the other little knickknacks like dress-up kit. And I'm sure I'm probably going to need some other components for the brakes, because I don't think the CRX stuff will work on the Integra. Unless it does, then that will be POG. And before anything, I need to do bushings. These are all rotted out, and I do not want to put 140 horsepower through this thing. That's without the turbo. It may get a turbo depending about how much room I got in here, because I do want to try to keep this big old radiator for cooling, because it is tucked in there nicely, but I may have to get a halfie. And this is my first time ever swapping a car motor. I have done mini bikes and other stuff like that. That's a different ballpark. That takes a couple $100. This is going to take a few grand. But I digress. It's going to be worth it. This is a 2,100-pound car, and it will be a rocket ship with 140 horsepower. Even though there are faster cars out there, this is my first car, and I want better than 90 horsepower that's inconsistent, because sometimes it likes to run on 3 cylinders and be a Geo Metro. And this is not Geo Metro money. I did not pay the amount I spent on the rebuild. You could buy a Geo Metro. I'm not saying that these are big spendy cars. I'm just stupid. These are not spendy cars. Bought that one for $800. Put piston rings on it, redid the head, $600, $800 more worth of work, and you got a pretty decent car. Just got to redo the oil pan gasket because I'm a dumbass. That's the only thing wrong with that. And that'd be a different video. That's a different can of worms I don't want to open quite yet. Cause this thing needs attention. It's been sitting after I spent a lot of money on the rebuild. And then it starts smoking, building crankcase pressure, and I'll just bypass all that with a catch can, hopefully. I still got to do a few other tests to see if it is the rings, because it could be they didn't do the valve cover gasket right. It's building weird pressures or something else along those lines. And I don't know anything about B series. I know a little bit about D series, because I've torn that one apart. I do not work on this one because this is the car I want to get in and turn the key and go. But this is my first time kind of actually working on it. That one is the prototype. It is the prototype still. But there are different cars. It's potato and that's potato. Potato and potato are different. And the B series is gonna need. I'm going with a B18 B1. That's 140 horsepower. That's if it's low miles and high compression. And I need a cable-driven B series transmission. 84 to 89 Integra front spindles, and the same with that it converts it into used B series Integra axles instead of using 87 CRX axles, because this one uses special axles. Because I have an HF outside, that's gonna get this motor eventually when I have time. But I'm self-employed, so all I have is time. Show you the car again. Kitty, you're doing this again? I recorded once and didn't. I fucked up. I wanted to put a V8 in this car. You might have a little wind noise. Except this one's a CRX too. Go back inside. It's cold. It's cold. Almost tripped over a wax bottle. Yeah, so that one is a carbureted. It is a 1.5 carbureted motor, and it's 60 horsepower. No, this has 90 horsepower. That's inconsistent, and it's still... The only thing that I can race and beat are Civics, and anything else is out of your game. I'm tired of that. And I'm not going to be spending any more money on this motor unless it's in the other car, because then that one can just get parked when don't want to mess with it. And this still doesn't include the 250 Walboro fuel pump. Probably said that wrong. English is not the best, even though I speak it. First language I speak it only. And I need the ECU. I need to see which one. I might need a P28 or a P90 something. 94, I think. I have a P06, but that's for that car. And if it's gonna work for this car, it's gonna be used for this one. But I'd like to have some sort of, I want pop bang skitty dee pop pops or something. I want something. Well, if you want to follow me along, I'm gonna be slowly doing this I would like to get this ball rolling in October, because I'm going to be piecemealing the parts and they're going over there. Get an engine stand for the B18, get a dress-up kit, get a special exhaust, maybe turbo kit. Maybe. I don't think the car is going to say no, probably, because there is no... That's all the room you have. And this is a smaller motor. This is a 1.5, and it's a 1.4 rounded up to 1.5. And the one I'm putting is a 1.8. I was going to go with a 2-liter, but I've been advised that I probably cannot afford the chassis stiffness stuff, and it's going to require a lot of money. And I just want... This is my first car. I love it. I want it to be a better version of itself. If that makes any sense. Appreciate y'all that reached out on Instagram. Y'all keep me going. Because all I have is cars in my life. All cars and pieces of shit with motors. Mini bikes, quads, side-by-side, an electric thing that doesn't even move. Just follow along, and I hope I don't disappoint.